Black off JTB and Southside across from Tinseltown.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
I see some of the providers out there trying to be competitive with Pet Paradise, but don't go for the imitators. Go for the innovator. For over 20 years, Pet Paradise continues to innovate, provide the best pet health care for even the pickiest pet parent. Overnight boarding, resort-style day camp, professional grooming, new-day veterinary care, Pet Paradise has all your pet care needs covered under one roof. They go above just providing premium care for their customers and pet parents. Pet Paradise gives back to their home communities. They've donated more than $700,000 to 100+ pet charities through North Florida and the U.S. Innovation and community, both part of Pet Paradise's DNA. You know, Pet Paradise was named a 2022 Best in Class Employer by Gallagher, ranked #1 for day camp and daycare services by Newsweek. Best pet care brands. They're right here in your backyard, and you can trust them. It's Pet Paradise. Find out more and set your appointment at petparadise.com.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS right here in Jacksonville is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your 1010XL local sports update. I'm ET. Your Jacksonville Jaguars took tackle Anton Harrison with the 27th overall pick last night in the NFL Draft. General Manager Trent Baalke spoke on that pick and explaining how he felt good about it.
Without going into where we had guys valued on the board, because that doesn't help us long term, we felt really good about the pick, and there was no sense in trying to, we had opportunities to move back some more, and we just felt at that point in time there was too much risk involved. We felt really good about the pick, and Coach and I looked at each other and said, let's make the pick.
That sound courtesy of Jaguars.com. Currently, it's 9:59 and it's 70 degrees, your time and your temp. is brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller. Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Tom McManus is next right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Let me see who's on that. Let me see who's on that. Let me see who's on that. Let me see who's gonna be next. Be next. Don't be scared to fuck with me, baby.
You know what it is.
To be from Jacksonville or to be, a Duvalian or whatever and not ride with the Jaguars, that's like you got a toilet in the house, but you poop in the backyard. It don't make sense.
Winning cures everything in the NFL. It just cures everything.
He drops the throw. Looking, fires middle of the field, and that ball is picked off! It is picked off by Rayshawn Jenkins! He's running it back along the right sideline! That is going to be a touchdown! That is going to be a touchdown! The Jags are going to win it on a Rayshawn Jenkins pick six!
Oh, my God. Look at that. Short again.
An all-out blitz. They hit him as he lets it go. The ball comes out. The ball comes out and it's picked up. The Jags are running it back. The Jags are running it back. The Jags are going to run it into the end zone. Josh Allen scores a touchdown. Josh Allen is running back for a touchdown for Jacksonville.
I've said it many times. I'll say it again. It's like a great gravy. You could have an average piece of meat, and if you put amazing gravy on top of it, you'll eat every bite of it.
You have faith in yourself. You have faith in each other. You keep encouraging one another like we talk about all the time, and you believe. Belief is about understanding that you can get it done, right? And then it gets done, right? It just can't happen, and then you have belief, right? And that's what faith is about. And you guys have it.
Always, Jags.
Get ready, Hamilton. Get ready. The slap finna happen. We been a slap, tap, rap, tap, 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 tap.
This boy got a hit.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and E to the T.
Oh, Boomer Sooner. Welcome to Jacksonville, Anton Harrison. Finally, we've got a name and a new Jacksonville Jaguar via the 2023 NFL Draft. Good morning, everybody. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and E.T. here with you. And today is about you. The Jaguar fans out there want to get your reaction to what happened last night, what you think the Jags should do tonight, tomorrow. Got 11 picks left. Tony, they're not going to have 12 rookies on this team, right?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
I don't think there's space on the
picks.
roster for all that.
We're making moves, Tommy Mack. How are you?
I'm doing great. And listen, believe it or not, I was up for the pick. Normally I'm lying on the couch.
Well, normally you only have to stay up till 8:05. So,
but it was awesome, man. I just the whole night was cool and seeing everybody's reaction. But I thought it was a great pick and great to move back and get your guy. And you know what? We talked off here. The first thing I said is, kid's mean. That's what you hear about. He loves finishing blocks. He's got the right attitude. Big guy. Hey, man, what do you got? Trent Williams, Lane Johnson. Now we got Anton Harrison.
We got our own.
Come on, baby.
Well, hopefully we got our own guy. E.T., were you satisfied? Were you pleased? Were you awake at the point the Jags drafted Anton Harrison?
At the point where he drafted him, nope. I woke up at 1:30. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We got a tackle. Bet, going back to sleep.
Right back to bed. Yeah. But what is your reaction now that you've had a chance to process it?
Take care of my dog, Trevor, man.
There you go.
Take care of my dog.
Yeah, I love it. As the process went along, he really climbed up for me. He was ahead of the corners for me. The only thing that made me question whether they were going there was their willingness to move twice with only one guy at that position. Now, they obviously, Tony, did their homework on what they expected the Giants to do, Buffalo, Dallas, right? Those were the teams that they'd have to contend with picking ahead of them with those moves back. But, okay, let's say you get surprised that Anton Harrison comes off the board. Well, got Joey Porter, you got Nolan Smith, you got Brian Branch. We don't know if they were in on them as much as the public, the media was, but it seemed like a target-rich environment for the Jags.
No, it was definitely a target-rich environment by the time they got put on the clock originally at 24, and you're watching it going, please trade back, please trade back. Like, there's just so many options here. Please find a way to make a move, and they did a couple of times with those small moves, but they get 4th, 5th, and 7th round picks out of it and a starting offensive tackle. You know, we've discussed all these things as we've gone through the process over the course of the last couple months, Demps, and I've never been totally on board with the offensive lineman thing, right? Like, I've never been totally on board with it. When the pick came in last night, I was like, okay, makes all kind of sense, right? You got to protect the quarterback. That is the biggest position of need by the time we got into the first round of the draft last night for the Jaguars. That doesn't mean that I didn't still say leading up to it, Myles Murphy is the top of my list.
Sure.
Right? And he's there at 27, and would I have been just as pumped or more pumped today if that had been the pick instead of Anton? Yeah, I would have been. If it had been Nolan Smith instead of Anton, would I be pumped today? Yes, absolutely I would have been, but I don't think they blew it. I think 3 days ago you asked me, who's going to have the better NFL career between those three guys? My money would be on Myles Murphy. Right? Like, that's just what my gut says about it. But I think Anton Harrison fills the biggest position of need for him, and they get that draft capital on the other end of it to be more flexible tonight with whatever they want to do.
Look, you look at his profile, Tom. He just doesn't allow people to hit his quarterback, right? and he plays in a conference where they throw the football all the damn time.
He's got great feet. He's long arms. I saw where the hard punch. I saw where the kid who got drafted, the kid out of Kansas State, Felix
Anadike Uzama.
He's the best one I've ever gone against.
Thought he was the best in the draft. Now, that could have been a little bit of conference pride going on.
But think, like we were saying earlier, you've got him, you got Fortner, and you got Little. Now, that's 3 out of 5 that are pretty young that are going to grow with who in a couple of years or maybe even a year. What are you going to do? You're going to give Trevor $200+ million. You better be able to protect him as best you can. So I thought it was great, man. I'm really excited for the pick.
Couple of things I thought happened was, first, if anyone told any of us that no receivers or tight ends would go in the first 19 picks, that only 3 quarterbacks would come off the board before the Jaguars selected, we'd be like, damn it, we are going to get squeezed, and we're going to get the last of 6 guys we had any interest in. And then you had a run on wide receivers. 4 in a row. Bam, 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 bam. Go ahead. Go ahead. And you had Jahmyr Gibbs taking the place maybe of one of those quarterbacks because Gibbs was maybe people thought late first round was a possibility for him, but to go 12th overall.
Right.
Maybe like Dallas, that kind of thing.
Maybe Dallas. Philadelphia had been mentioned.
Yeah.
I saw him multiple times. I even saw Kansas City mocked with him yesterday. But
those are teams drafting after Jacksonville. Right?
You had things like the Jets obviously didn't like Anton Harrison as much. I think they were fixated on Broderick Jones. And Pittsburgh jumps them, and then you see it play out in real time where that clock, when it gets under a minute, there is discussion going on, right? And now there could be trade possibilities, but generally teams have to pick in with over 3 minutes left on the clock, oftentimes with 5-6 minutes left on the clock. They know who they're going to take. I felt like the Jets really thought they were getting Jones, and then they kind of panicked and took Will McDonald. I mean, maybe they maybe just went to the next player on their board, and that's probably what they did. But it just seemed like, and when he came off, I'm like, I have no interest in taking him with the 24th pick. So that's another one, Jack Campbell, inside linebacker.
Yeah,
no
we're
interest.
happy that happened.
Oh,
right? Because we're like, yes,
tremendous.
Keep sending them down.
So we're sitting there, Tom. We're looking at Deontay Banks, and we're looking at Joey Porter, and we're looking at Branch and Smith and Harrison and all these guys that we've talked about. And I wonder if they did take corner there, would they just have taken Banks over Porter Jr.? Because we heard so much, Tony, in the last week about how much they really liked him. Obviously, that's come and gone by the wayside now. So we got a number of things out there on social media for you today, and we really do want to invite your phone calls today.
Yeah.
Just don't make a speech, but give us your reaction. You can tell us what you thought about how Balky handled things last night. Was it the master class? What do you think about the pick? Who they should have taken if you thought it should have been somebody else who was available? Should they trade up? Who is your target? If they are trading up, how aggressive do you want to be? So our Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day, the simple one, is what is your reaction to the Jaguars selecting Anton Harrison of the Oklahoma Sooners with their first pick in this year's NFL draft? Then we ran 2 polls, and Tony and I tried to put names together and group them similar value. You got 3 guys last night, Brian Branch, Joey Porter, and Keon White,
right,
that were all at the draft, didn't get picked, and I'll throw Michael Mayer in this group as well, who I think got invited but turned down the opportunity. So we got a poll. If the Jags were to trade up in round 2, and those were the 4 options, who would you rather have, Branch, Mayer, Porter, or Keon White? That seems to be a group that you're going to have to get really high up in the second round to get one of. Now, we have another poll, and this one is so amazingly divided right now. This is a group that we try to think maybe a little bit less of a move, maybe within 10 picks as opposed to getting up in the 30s. We have the edge rusher Derek Hall in there.
From Auburn, yeah.
We got Cam Smith, the South Carolina corner.
Yep.
We got Osiris Torrance, and I know some people would be going, that's absolutely insane. We just took the offensive line, and we got Darnell Washington, the tight end out of Georgia. We already talked about before the show.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do it.
Right.
If I could take Osiris Torrance, if I felt like, and this is assuming their evaluation is his style fits their scheme, okay? But if they think that, now you've got your 2 young tackles, you've got fresh meat at guard to go with Sheriff on the other side, and you got your young center. You've got your line locked up for
quite a while,
a long time. And then Cam comes back at some point, and then it's competition. I don't think I hand Cam the left tackle job. But like if Walker Little's playing left or whoever's playing left, if they're holding it down, hey, Cam, welcome back. You want to compete at guard?
Yeah.
If you want to get on the field, that may be the way to go.
I agree. And you got to look beyond this year, right?
Absolutely. Well, this pick clearly is a look beyond this year.
I love it. I mean, he's a mauler. He's a monster. He's got nimble feet for a big dude. I love
the only guys at the beginning of the week I had on my wish list higher were Bijan, who I didn't think they'd ever take, Darnell Wright, who they never had a chance to take. Harrison was third for me. This is before the Cam thing. Like, I was content to get a tackle, let him come in and compete, and if it was nothing more than quality depth, maybe slide over to guard for a year, and then slide into the starting lineup full-time at tackle next year, I would have been fine with that. Then I think it became a little bit more critical, obviously, with the Cam Robinson deal. So, all right, phone lines are open, 641-1010. Let's get your reaction out there, and we'll have ours as well. And on Twitter, hit us up today. At MD_1010XL is where I've got the 2 polls out there, both of them over 250 votes so far. So these are different groups of players, and maybe we don't have your favorite guy in there, but we tried to have a good representative sample of those, and give us your reaction to how you feel about the selection. So at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at IME2 the T.
Come on, somebody.
Somebody needs a nap. Wake up at 1:30 in the morning, find out who the Jags pick. Now, mid-afternoon nap today, E.T. So you can enjoy your Friday night watching the draft? No?
No, I'm on go now.
Oh, you're on go? You're green
up.
lights all the way?
Oh, I'm up. It's Friday.
All greens?
What?
No, oh, my gosh. No sleep necessary for this guy. All right.
Sleep when you die.
You know what? Hope you all had a great time last night at the Jaguars draft party. If you attended that. I know Frank and the whole crew, Mia, Hayes, Jeff, Tony, everybody was doing a phenomenal job, and just glad to be part of it, man. It's fun. We're lucky to have this NFL franchise in our city and to have these connections and have this going on right now. I love it, brother. I love it. So give us your thoughts. You don't have to love it, and that's okay. Want your honest reaction. Anything Jaguar draft related is fair game. 641-1010. Hit us up on the phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
JOI, where the pros go.
If your hair is thinning and you're looking for an easy solution that will restore your hair, check out IHRS PRP Platelet-Rich Plasma. PRP, using your own platelets and cells to restore your hair where it's thinning. Combined with their FDA-approved laser hair therapy and pharmaceutical-grade products, all 3 will deliver one better result. Call IHRS now for a free evaluation and to find out if their PRP 45-minute treatment will work for you. Now there is a solution for any man or woman with any degree of hair loss, and it's all in one place. Call 904-777-IHRS. IHRS has been restoring hair for over 30 years. The staff at IHRS knows what it's like to lose their hair, and that's why they're ready to help you grow your hair back.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Honda has done it again with their all-new exciting SUV and truck lineup for 2023. HRV, Pilot, Passport, Ridgeline trucks, and our popular CRV Hybrid. This is without a doubt Honda's most impressive lineup. Visit your local Honda dealer today. We're dealing.
Hey, I know we love our happy hours, but have you been to Mr. Chubby's Wings for lunch lately?
Yep, their new specials are awesome. I eat lunch there all the time.
I went this week and got wings, a drink, and chips for $8.
As usual, the best prices in town. You can't hardly find anyone doing $8 lunch anymore.
I know. I'm saving my money for the weekends with $8 lunch specials.
Save your money for the weekends. Enjoy $8 lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 3 locations serving you for all sports all year. Mr. Chubby's Wings, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Starting April 26th, the annual Jacksonville RV Stadium Show is back with the Duval Draft Night Experience. This is the place for the largest selection of new and used RVs, and we'll even buy yours. Factory reps will be on site for this 5-day-only factory-authorized RV sale. And you have the chance to win Jaguars season tickets, signed merch, and a free RV rental. The Jacksonville RV Stadium Show from April 26th to the 30th. Sponsored by Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who are these new names and how can they help? Listen for 1010XL Draft Profiles, brought to you by Perfect Rack Billiards in Murray Hill and Travel Camp RV Sales and Service. Follow the off-season with 1010XL and Tire Outlet.
Bueller. Look, folks, I've been hearing it my whole life, but the truth is there's never been a better time to stay cooler with Bueller. Right now, we can send a qualified Bueller technician to perform a thorough tune-up and cleaning of your AC system for just $119. We'll even include up to 1 pound of refrigerant to balance your system for peak cooling performance this summer. Now that's staying cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
E.T. here, and y'all know how much I like my brown water, but I ain't gonna lie, it gives me headaches sometimes. So my alternative is Brackish Vodka. This gluten-free alternative to Tito's is 100% local, and all monies stays right here in Duval. Not only does Brackish Vodka make you feel good, but when you support Brackish Vodka, you're also helping local charities. Try it side by side with your favorite vodka, and you will taste and smell how natural Brackish Vodka really is. And when you do, remember who sent you. Come on, somebody.
Now's the time to start your home improvement projects. Kevin here with Armor Guard Exteriors and Gutter Helmet. Our local suppliers are stocked up and ready to deliver your home improvement projects, like gutters, gutter helmet, retractable awnings, and screens, window replacements, and glass and ice. Call now and get 18 months no interest and no down payment. Call now, 904-906-8669.
Why can't I just speak to an actual human being? I need a new bank.
Well, actually, at One-to-One Financial, communication is not only number one, it's one-to-one. When you call, you get to talk to a real live Jacksonville human, fast and with someone who's truly concerned about your needs, your security, and finding solutions as a team.
Thank you.
Ready to break up with your bank? Find a real long-term banking relationship at One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit one-to-onefcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
It's time to fire up the grill. Houston's Meat Specials of the Week. 10 pounds of fresh jumbo chicken wings at $19.95. Fresh baby back ribs, $2.99 a pound. And whole Packer T-bone steaks at $4.95 a pound. Sliced free. Only at Houston's Meat, Main Street and 295.
Your home for Florida Gators baseball is 1010XL.
The Tigers travel from the heartland to the swampland. Florida, Missouri. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon on 1010 a.m.
Jaguars today on 1010XL.
With the 27th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Anton Harrison, tackle, Oklahoma.
Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, Boomer Sooner, big fella, come on down to Jayville. Let's build the Great Wall of Duval.
That's right.
Let's get Osiris Torrance. Let's find a way. Now, again, I'm assuming, I'm going along with the pundits. By the way, Tony Pauline told us, Tony, he ain't going in the first round.
Yes, he did.
There were some here that just would not believe that could be possible.
Yeah.
But Tony Pauline, he nailed it. Not going to be a first-round pick in this year's NFL
How about
draft.
Branch? Are we surprised that Branch didn't go at all in the first round? I'll tell you this. When he came out on the stage, I was like, man, he's kind of little.
He's very little, right?
I mean, not that that totally means anything, but I know he's one of the top tacklers and whatnot. At least I've seen.
No,
that,
he's.
I just wasn't like, wow.
Supposedly,
he looks,
like just a phenomenal.
I mean, you
tackler.
watch that kid from Oregon step out. You're like, whoa, that's a big DB right there. You know what I mean?
Interesting though that he fell. Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, was at one point overwhelmingly consensus number one corner in the draft.
Yep.
Now, consensus by whom? You ask.
Yeah.
Clearly,
right.
Seattle didn't feel that way, right? They took Witherspoon.
Yeah,
Detroit
looks good.
Didn't love him enough to take him at 6 or 12.
Right.
Wouldn't have made it to him at 18. But, Detroit could have taken him at 12. Now, granted, they went with the players they wanted.
Yeah.
Just feel like Jahmyr Gibbs would have been there for them at 18.
No doubt.
And hey, you know what? Jags get Anton Harrison.
Yeah.
Get a 4th rounder, a 5th rounder, and a 7th rounder on top of that. Now go make good use of that draft capital and get a little crazy on it tonight. Let's go. All right, 641-1010. Let's start with Hayden in St. Augustine. Let's react to what the Jags were able to accomplish last night and your expectations for the rest of the weekend. Hayden, good morning.
What's up, fellas? How we feeling today?
I'm feeling great,
Good,
man.
yeah,
I can't speak for everybody,
great.
but I'm feeling really good. How about you?
I'm feeling pretty fantastic. It was funny. I was actually at the airport. My flight got canceled. Then I headed to the draft party, had a great time. I'll tell you one thing about Anton, though, man. That kid's young. He just turned 21.
Yes, he did.
And powerful hands. I mean, the best of both worlds, really. I mean, you get a guy that'll be good in the here and now and a guy that'll be good in the future, and we'll lose Cam. But I'll tell you one thing about tonight. By acquiring all those picks, I want them to go up and get either Osiris Torrance to complete that line and protect Trevor, or go up and get Darnell Washington, the kid from Georgia. I think he's going to be a monster.
Well, who? If you had a choice between those two, who's the bigger priority for you?
For me personally, considering I wanted them to take Darnell Washington, obviously not the way the draft board fell last night, but I wanted Darnell Washington before the draft started at 24. So I would say Darnell Washington because he's a plus blocker. He can come in and complement Ingram very well. And who's going to complain about another weapon for Trevor? I mean, come on.
Well, people who want pass rush and corner and all that. Like, somebody's going to complain about everything, right?
Yeah.
And they may be right?
Yeah.
We're all just, we're feeling good about it. Hayden, I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
They're both in that second poll we ran. By the way, Darnell Washington getting the lowest number, but that's 21.5%. The highest goes to Cam Smith at 28%.
Okay.
So you got Derek Hall getting about 24, Osiris Torrance 26.5.
Right.
And, I mean, that's a split decision right there
no
for
doubt,
sure.
No doubt. I'm in the camp of Torrance as well. But here's the thing. What if they don't move with the Giants and they take Deonte Banks? Because he seemed to be, the corner that
they could have done that.
I know they could. I'm just saying. What do you?
No,
I'm sure there's people out there like, man, why do we stick and take Deonte Banks?
I would have said, you know what, I can live with it.
Yeah.
But I wanted Harrison. I mean, I said it. Yeah. When everything boiled down, I wanted them to go. Heck, I wanted them to go offensive line last year.
Yeah.
And with the number 1 overall.
Yep.
And imagine if we did have Ike Ekwonu right
Right.
now, right? You
Right.
would have been,
Yep.
you know, you'd need a lot of help at pass rush. There's no question about it. But
No, I'm very happy with the outcome. I'm sure there's people out there saying, man, what if we just would have stuck and take whoever? Whether
no,
it's
you
Deontay
could have.
Banks
And
or
they
somebody.
had that option, but clearly at
Yeah.
Tone, I think they
If
valued
they
Harrison
never
ahead of
taken
him.
Anton.
Yeah,
I
that-
think
that's what it seems
if
like.
they picked
Totally
the
agree.
24, it would have been Anton. And, you know, that's why I think you can complain ultimately about the player if you wanted him to go a different direction. Like, really wanted them to not take an offensive tackle in that spot. Okay, right? Like, I think there is room for complaint about that if you want to complain about it. Them getting the player they would have drafted at 24 after trading down twice and still getting the player they would have drafted at 24, that's how you work the draft, right?
Jags never do this.
Right.
They never do the little incremental moves down that every
No.
other team does, and you're like, why can't we get that deal?
Yeah, but they did it last night. They
Yeah.
get a starting offensive tackle, which they needed. And look, it drops off after this point, depending on how much you believe DeJuan is going to turn into a player.
DeJuan Jones or Matt Bergeron, maybe. But it's a long way to go to think
You'd be
one of
waiting
them's
a
making it
long
to
time.
56,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
I do think positional scarcity played a big role here for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Dave in New Jersey next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Dave. Dave, you
Hey,
there?
good morning, Jim. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. I'm just I'm just calling just to say I'm actually a little bit surprised. Admittedly, I didn't even know too much about the Oklahoma guy. I knew about I was hoping the guy from Tennessee fell. Obviously, he didn't. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm similar to you, Mike. You know, even if I don't want a guy or not, once he gets here, I hope he becomes an All-Pro. And at the end of the day, like I think we all kind of knew that Cam, regardless of his suspension, Cam's probably out of there at the end of the year. What I really hope they do is, I really think that Little is really a left tackle. I don't think he's a right. I'd rather move the rookie and have him learn right. And I really, really like Little a lot playing left. So I really hope he plays left. He has the body. He's a tank. I really hope he's our left. So that's really it.
All right, appreciate it, man. You know, Anton Harrison, here's something I like about him. He's 21 years old. Just turned, right? I mean, youngster. You know, what have we heard in the last few years? And I get it. Guys are trying to, you know, protect their ego, trying to protect their value. But, you know, you bring it up, the idea, could Jawaan Taylor move inside? Could Cam Robinson move inside here? I'm a tackle. That's what I am. Anton Harrison's like, I told the Jags, play me anywhere you want. You go, you know what? I can play right or left, and they even said they think he can play guard. You know, and he's just like, pick me, use me, whatever. And I get it. He's trying to get picked as highly as possible. But I love that attitude, man. You know, I never understood that. We're paying you $20 million, and you get to pick where we're going to best utilize you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you know, the thing with Walker, there's something amiss for me. You know what I mean? It's like if he was
Walker Little?
Yeah, like if he was the left tackle, he would be the left tackle. You wouldn't, you know what I mean? And then he had to fight for the right tackle position, which, you know, he didn't win. Look, I like him. I really like him as an offensive line, but if I feel like there's something amiss, like because you look at Anton, he plays left tackle. I think he played one.
He played a game at right. Yeah.
And that's great that he can play out, no doubt. But you'd probably rather keep him in his natural position, which is at left tackle, and he's a very good left tackle.
But you could also make the argument blindside protection coming from a rookie, you know, compared to at least a guy who's seen the NFL and played a decent amount in Walker Little, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting.
I just feel like if he was the guy, he'd be the guy.
And that may be, or maybe he's developing into the guy. Keep in mind, he's only 24.
No, I know.
And barely played football his last 2 years in college.
And I'm not saying from me. I just feel like it just seems something's amiss with the way they
I think
whatever.
I think there's a big year if Walker Little goes out there, whatever spot they stick him at.
Yeah.
I think he's a priority extension guy next off season because he's only 24 right now, right? So next off season, he's 25 years old with a year left on his rookie deal.
All right, let me ask you: open competition?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Open
No reason
Left
for it
or
not to
right?
be,
Oh,
yeah.
of course it's open.
Okay.
I'm not anointing anybody here. Yeah, no doubt. Let's get Matt in Orlando next up to react to what's going on with the Jags here. Matt, good morning.
How's it going, guys?
Going well for us. The results vary. How's it going for you?
Doing great. I think Harrison fills a huge need. I also think it's going to save them about $17 million on the cap next year. So
you can kind of backfill that with some more talent next year, which I think is awesome because I think it's going to come in and play right away. You're looking towards the future. So I think that's great. But I think with today, I would say I don't want to reach on the edge guy. I think you need players that are going to come in and play right away. I think even with good edge guys, you're looking at year 2, year 3, where they really start to come into a groove. And not that we don't need that for the future, because we do, but you just invested in Trayvon Walker. I think this year, getting a guy like an Ngakoue or a Houston or something like that can come in, give you 7 sacks, rotational player, I think that's a lot more value for this year. And I think this team can kind of look to win now. So what I would, love them to do is obviously either go up and get one of those 2 tight ends. I think Torrance would be a great player on the interior. And then I also think there's a lot of guys there that can slot into that nickel role. I think if there's a great guy that you think is going to play outside corner for the future and you can slot him into nickel this year, then I'm all about going forward and getting that. But I think you can get like guys like Phillips, maybe Smith, somebody like that, either back into the early part of round 3 or something like that. So I think if I was going to jump up, if I could get maybe Ringo or if you could get Porter Jr., I'm all for it. But otherwise, I kind of want to go tight end or interior offensive line.
All right. I thought well reasoned, and I think that plays a big factor here, Tone. Yeah. The veteran market out there, we've looked, pass rushers can be found right now. They're not long-term answers, but you're not going to solve every problem long-term in one draft. So, you gotta make the best use of your resources. Joey Porter Jr., you're not going to – well, actually you will. I saw one mock that had Cam Smith going with the first pick tonight to Pittsburgh, right? Because just because his dad played for the Steelers, right, and he played in Pennsylvania at Penn State, people think, oh, he's got to go to the Steelers. Well, they passed on him once. Maybe they pass on him again, but most people think that he's going to either go to Pittsburgh or he's going to go quickly after that. I personally don't think the Jags are making that move up into that, pick 36, 37 range. I think it's more likely, okay, we got a couple of guys slide. We got 2 guys left we like. Let's jump up 5 spots.
Yeah, let's see who falls.
Right.
And
I think, but, could be totally wrong.
Well, what do you think it takes in this to jump like that?
To get to where? It depends.
Let's say he wants. We're at 56. What if we want to get to 15 spots or 20 spots, something like that?
I tell you what. Let's take a call. I'm gonna bring up the draft value chart because I do think teams still adhere to it more than they should.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
I'd be interested in that because I've never really seen one of those.
Because somebody put together a proposed trade last night of getting from somewhere to somewhere. He goes, "Do you think this would get it done?" And so you can look, and I looked up the values, and I was like, well, it's close, but really the Jags probably need to add a 7th rounder to that if you want to even it out. So we'll take a look at what it would cost to move up 15 spots or so. Let's get Brandon out at the Beaches next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Brandon.
Hey, good morning, guys. So I think we have our new Trent Williams because, they're very similar the way that they I'm not anointing him yet, but Johnson, some good guys from Oklahoma. We're very strong offensive linemen, so that's really important. I think we could package up the 2 4s and possibly go up and either get a Porter or get Cam Smith, anybody up that high. I don't know if the 2 4s, is that what you're saying? You think they need the 7th?
I don't know. That was a hypothetical about another scenario. But, look, I think corner is absolutely in play. Like, I'm not going to be mad if they go corner.
No, not at all.
And I think, as the previous caller pointed out, there are some nickel-type guys that may hang around into the 3rd round, and you might not even have to move for them. And so, look, if they go edge tonight, if they go corner, if they go Osiris Torrance, if they go tight end, how can you be mad at any of that? These were all the things that were in play with the 24th pick.
We've had these discussions over and over. It's not a football team with a bunch of open spots. Right?
Right.
Tackle became a wide open spot for the roster, even more so with the news this week on Cam Robinson, right? It just did. So it became one of those spots you can draft a guy, starting tackle, right? If you can get a guy, he's a starting tackle for you week 1 this season. There aren't a whole lot of spots on the roster where that is the case. So you can get an edge guy that's going to be more for depth. A corner can come in and be a slot corner for you, from day 1. So that potentially is still open. Tight end to some degree is open. If you open in a 2 tight end set, but you don't do that that often, right? It's all the same stuff we were discussing in the first round. It's all the same positions.
Oh, yeah.
Only now your biggest need is filled. right? And you're not going into the season saying, okay, we got to start who at right tackle
right,
week 1?
right.
That question has been answered.
Yep.
And now, at least after the first 6 weeks, it slots out where, okay, that's our swing tackle.
Right.
Right? Don't have to worry about it, at least for this year.
And look, with Cam's contract, they know what next year looks like. So that factors in suspension or not. You know what I mean? Like when they're looking at the future of their offensive
next year
line.
you save $18 million against the cap by letting him go.
Right, right, exactly. So that had to have been factored in. You know, the tight end would be. I wouldn't look. I'm going to be happy with whoever they grab, but tight end wouldn't be high on my list. I don't.
All right, hold that thought. We'll
let's
continue. I'll just say I took a quick peek.
Okay.
If you took the Jags' second and third round picks combined,
yep.
Like I know nobody wants to give up both of those, but if you did, that only gets you to 41. Like the value that gets you to pick 41.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So going from 56 to 41 is an exact match of them giving up their third round pick based on the old value chart.
Okay.
Now again, there are modified value charts. Not everyone's going with the same thing. So that's why I say, like, the idea you're going to get up, like, to 34, 35, I think is a pipe dream. Unless you're dipping into
a third and a fourth, like, would that do it?
No.
I mean, a third gets you to 41?
They get progressively less valuable.
Okay.
So those fourth-round picks, like, let's see, the Jags' first fourth-round pick is what selection? Here's pick 121 in the fourth round.
Okay.
That's worth 52 points, right? So if you're adding all three of those picks together now, you're asking, you're going from 41 at 52 points. That gets you up to pick 36. So your next three picks, though, so you'll have no third rounder and you lose your first fourth rounder and you give up the 56 pick to get up to 36. That's not even the top of the round.
No, right.
You know, so I just think, I don't see them making that. I think it's more like guy falls to 49, 50, 51.
Yeah.
Boom. We got here's a couple fourths. Here's a fourth and a sixth or whatever.
Well, they got 11 picks. We keep saying that. So how many do you think they'll end up getting? 8?
But how many premium picks do they have?
Right
now?
Yeah.
Second, third. You know, you got 3 in the fourth. They're
how many
borderline.
players out of the 11 do you think they'll draft out of the picks? How many players end up? 8?
Maybe 8. Yeah,
Okay.
8, 7, possibly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one thing for me to go jump from 56 to 50 and give up 2 fourth rounders.
Yep.
Is that third and the highest fourth? Oof, that's pretty steep.
Okay.
And again, I think the board looks pretty good. We saw what fell to him last night.
Yeah.
I think at 56, there's probably a player we're like, damn, they got him there.
And maybe couldn't they do something in the third round with those fourth round
Absolutely.
picks, right?
And it's less expensive to make that jump.
Yeah.
All right, timeout here and coming back. If you're on the line, stay there. We will get to you straight ahead at 641-1010, reacting to the Jaguars selection of Anton Harrison with the 27th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. All Jags, all NFL. Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
There is so much I love about spring. Mia here. It's hard to choose a favorite. Kind of like the amazing used selection you'll find at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. I'm talking 400 premium pre-owned on the lot. So to make your decision a little easier, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it for one that you do. And with a 4.7 out of 5-star rating and over 16,000 Google reviews, you know my friends at Arlington are going to help you pick the best ride for you. Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Hey folks, you ever search why Shark Coatings is the best? Well, one of the many reasons is our polyurea. We don't just buy it from anyone who has it in stock. We custom blend ours, specializing between summer and winter blend, providing you with the best products for our area. After grinding the concrete, that polyurea will form a permanent bond at the molecular level and will not pull away like epoxy. With Shark Coatings, not only will your garage look awesome, but your pool deck, patio, or driveway will too. See how Shark Coatings can make a difference for you. Call, click, or text today.
Cheer on your Jacksonville Sharks Sunday, April 30th, 4 o'clock at the VyStar Arena and see the Sharks smash their in-state rivals, the Orlando Predators. With tickets as low as $15, you can't find this kind of family affordable fun anywhere else. Join us for our exclusive movie night. Strut down the red carpet. Pose for the paparazzi. Shark Tank Sunday, April 30th, 4 o'clock at the VyStar Memorial Arena. For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700 or check out jacksharks.com. Come dressed to impress. Fins up.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll and lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
If you like catching fish, you'll love Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Big fish.
It's bigger than me.
Thursday nights at 6.
Oh, my goodness.
Brought to you by Houston's Meats.
Is it big?
On 1010XL AM.
Listen for the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehabilitation House Call and the Frangie Show this Friday. They'll tell you about rehab parameters for baseball and softball players and the different tools available at JOI Rehab. JOI, where the pros go.
Open early and open late. Dailies is always there, making things easy for you to cruise in and cruise out. So hit Dailies Cold Case the next time you're craving a cold one. Bud Light by the case, plus plenty of singles to choose from. Corona, to the King of Beers, to Stella or a Natty. They're all cold at Dailies.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah Safety Net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah & Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
Did you know that many cooling companies are now part of big conglomerates with no connection to Northeast Florida? In the past, they have concentrated on heating and air conditioning, but after a buyout, many add plumbing and electrical services. This raises their overhead, and those costs are passed on to the consumer. It's a case where bigger isn't better, it's just more expensive. Not Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Mike Merritt remains family-owned and operated. Merritt's focus has been the same for more than 30 years, keeping Northeast Florida comfortable, no matter what the weather. And there are no overtime or weekend surcharges. Mike Merritt's team does not work on commission. They repair only what needs repair and offer replacements only on what can't be fixed. And unlike at giant corporations where you can feel like just another number, with Mike Merritt, you'll feel like number one. Florida license CACO 50384.
Coming through in the clutch. David Garrard for Clearwater Seamless Gutters. You all know Clearwater installed my sprinklers, but recently John Haney's Clearwater Gutter Division installed beautiful 6-inch seamless gutters for my home in Jacks Beach, and they work great.
Dave, that's awesome to hear. Now jump in. We're fixing to sing.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
I'm Brent Musburger, and you are listening live to Jacksonville Sports Radio 1010 XL.
Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010 XL.
You can never have enough big, good offensive linemen. You just can't. Is it the pick? Is it the most need? I think you could argue there was maybe greater need in a couple other position groups, but I think it's a good move, and I think it solidifies that offensive line even more. And more than anything, you got to protect Trevor Lawrence. He is the franchise in this league. You got to protect that guy, and I think what they did will help that.
He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, a better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars today rolling on here. Big day, obviously, in the midst of the NFL draft. Anton Harrison, welcome to Jacksonville, and hopefully you turn out to be the best player in this draft.
That's right.
That would be phenomenal.
Heck yeah.
Many people, and I get it, not everybody's living and breathing it every single day, right? But many people suggest, don't trade all those picks this year. We can use our draft capital next year. Well, you can to a degree, but a lot of it's tied up. Calvin Ridley, if he's on the Jags roster, which he will be, right, means you have to give a fourth-round pick to Atlanta. Okay. There are certain incentives where that pick becomes your third-rounder next year. If you sign him to an extension, the pick becomes a second. Wow. So you can't trade your second.
Right.
You have to have that earmarked. Now, in theory, you could trade your third, and then if he meets the conditions to give up the third, you could give them your second because you could give them a higher pick as compensation. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, you can't. You're locked up with these picks kind of in the middle of the draft next year.
Well, could you give a 3 to move up? Which we don't think we were talking off. We don't think they're going to move up dramatically, right, or drastically.
I don't think they want to give up like 6 picks to get one guy.
But let's just say you give up your third to get up however high. Can you use 2 of your fourths to get back into the third?
2 of them,
or
3 of them.
You need all 3 to get in.
I think I looked 3 of them.
That's fascinating stuff.
Again, this is the chart, right? It's just a chart. It's not gospel. Yeah. Not everybody's going to.
I know, but
adhere to it.
They go by
you could. The 3 fourth-round picks the Jaguars own,
yeah,
are according to the chart worth the 90th pick in the draft, basically. Okay, so you could get back up to where you were. Yeah. You could also say instead of giving up the third rounder, you could say, here's our second and all 3 fourths, and you get to about the same spot. But it's only getting you to pick 41, and that's Tennessee, and they're not trading with you anyway, probably, right? So, they're taking Bad Toe Will, hopefully, tonight. Or Bad Knee Hendon.
They have the flexibility to make small moves in the second round tonight, right? Like if there's a player that gets to within 2, 3, 4 spots that they really covet, they can make a move to go get that guy tonight. And I think they can be as active as they want to be the second half of the third round into the fourth round, right? Like they can pretty much make whatever move they would want to make.
Yeah, like that. The lowest of their fourth rounders, you add that to the third, that jumps you up about a half dozen spots. I think you could see that like a 4th and a 6th to get you 10 spots or whatever the case may be. I could see them. That would be fun because they can kind of shift around the board. Before we get to the calls, be patient. We'll get to all of you who are hanging on in this segment. Walker Little was on XL Primetime earlier this week.
Cool.
And so there's some pertinent questions they asked him. So let's hear what he had to say. I was asked if he has been told this year that and keep in mind, this was an interview before Cam Robinson's suspension was broken. Okay. Walker Little asked if he's been told that he will play right tackle this year.
We haven't really talked at all about, where guys are starting, where we're going to be placed, or anything like that. Right now, it's really just getting back with the team, figuring out, the playbook again for some of the new guys, and for some of us who were here last year, just refreshing ourselves back on the playbooks. And next week, we'll be able to get on the field and start moving around a little more with the coaches, and really just building a lot of camaraderie with the team right now is more so the focus.
Walker Little, joining XL Primetime earlier this week, was also asked if he would rather play left tackle or right tackle.
Yeah, I just want an opportunity to be able to play. I think that's what any player wants on our team, and I'll get that chance in training camp, and hopefully I can play well, improve myself, and earn a starting spot. But nothing's going to be given to anyone on this team. Everyone's going to have to go out there and earn their spot, especially anyone who gets to be one of the starters. I'm just trying to focus on getting better myself and preparing myself for another long season, hopefully. And we're working towards having to end up in the Super Bowl, which would be a blessing for all of us.
All right, and finally, in Walker Little's eyes, what's the difference? How much different is it? How much difficulty is it between playing right versus left?
Yeah, I think it's particular to the player. I think there's some players where it may come a little more natural to, and it just seems like they can kind of switch back and forth, and some guys might struggle a bit more with it. I feel like I've gotten so many reps, especially the past 2 years at both, that I feel pretty comfortable playing both sides at this point. But, you may always have one side. I know for me,
grew up playing left and played in college left, so that's always been kind of my home base. But I've worked really hard to make both feel really natural for me. And I think I've finally gotten to that point where, playing right and playing left feels virtually the same.
Like you said, Tom, just let's go. Open competition. Let's see how it shakes out.
Yeah, listen, I mean, he's a good young man. There's no doubt about that. He's got all the tools. There's no doubt. He's massive. He can move. He's flexible as all get out. I think his technique got a lot better when Phil Rosher got here, and I'm looking forward to seeing Phil's influence on the entire offensive line another year. I think they're all going to be better. He'll do whatever it takes. I get it. And, you think about it, like, I was just thinking about, I was saying, like, right, left, you got to work on it. It's like, look, think about, like, ambidextrous, right? You're lefty, you're righty.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do both, it's going to be easier for you, right? Some people can only eat righty. Like, I can eat both hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like that. Like, it's either going to come natural to him or he's got to work at it. But it sounds like he's got it pretty much down, which is cool.
All right. And again, Anton Harrison read in some scouting reports that he's got some technique things he needs to clean up. I mean, I think you feel like out of almost any position coach on this roster, you feel like Phil Rauscher's got the magic touch right now. Like
Totally.
that's the guy I have the most confidence
very
in.
confident, yeah.
So, all right, let's get these calls in. Let's go rapid fire. Stephen Melbourne up next here on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, man.
I love the pick. I don't know what they do in Oklahoma. The last 4 offensive linemen drafted in the first round were all Pro Bowlers. So hopefully Anton continues that tradition, and I'm happy to have him as a Jaguar.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
all right, there
me
you go.
too.
Very succinct.
Yeah.
Let's hope he becomes an all-pro.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Let's
Jamie up in Charlotte checking in with some reaction. Jamie, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I usually listen to you guys on the TuneIn app, but now you got the live stream, which is cool, and I can actually see you guys.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I might go back to the TuneIn app.
Here you go.
But anyway,
just for Jamie, I'm covering my camera for a second. Go ahead, brother.
Listen, I'm like a lot of Jaguars fans. Offensive tackle is so unsexy. I mean, it's just so unsexy. But when you think about it, man, we're going up against Brian Burns this year, and we're going up against Will Anderson. We're going to be like, oh, yeah, now I get it. This guy's a monster. Yeah, this is awesome. So I'm very happy with the pick, but I will say this, like you guys, I think I want at most 6 players. I want all of these picks moved and get some quality studs in here. Please work on this defense, and I'm with Tommy. I'm okay with tight end right now. Let's get some defenders in here, pass rush, defensive tackles, corner. Let's solidify this defense, and, man, let's take it. I mean, I want to see this jump this year. I want to get past Kansas City. I don't want any more Chad Henne drive.
Right.
I don't want any more. So anyway, I'm gonna let it go, but that's where I'm at. Don't pick after the 4th round. That's my goal tonight.
Oh, all right. Well, that's bold. I don't see that playing out quite that way, but I understand the overall of what you're talking about there. So, look, they know they got to address defense.
Yeah.
You had 1 pick last night. You turn it into 4.
Right.
Turn it into a tackle, a 4th, a 5th, and a 7th. So,
But the mentality is offense. It's scoring.
In today's NFL, it is.
And with Doug, like
and
passing and all that, right? So that's what I'm saying. So we got to, I'm not going to be surprised they keep adding offense, is what I'm saying, to solidify it even more.
All right. Jeremy in Texas next up here on 1010XL. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, guys. I just it's good being a Jaguar fan, especially this past season in Texas. I can talk all I want to these Cowboy fans here. But I would like to say with Balky how I think some GMs deserve a little bit, benefit of the doubt, and deserve a little bit of respect. And based on what he's done for us the last year and a half, 2 years, I think any picks that he has until he proves us wrong, I think we should just follow along with it and agree with him. But I hope tonight I wouldn't mind seeing a tight end, maybe a beef up our defensive tackle a little bit to help our defense, because I think offensively when you have someone like Trevor, hides a lot of stuff, and always the best quarterbacks typically once you win, and I think we got a top 3 quarterback in the league. But looking forward to the rest of the draft tonight, and love listening to the show.
No, I appreciate it, man. Look, defensive tackle after that extension for Hamilton is nowhere near the radar, I don't think, for them.
No, good for him.
Right, right. So they locked him up, and you look at it, and I heard the guys and gals of XL Primetime discussing. He's like the 14th highest paid defensive tackle right now. The market, like the top guys, I mean, Donald's like $30 million, but you got plenty of $20 million players.
Yep.
You're getting him for 11. It's not cheap,
No.
but, it's just – and it's an important position. It's a hard one to fill. I'll say this about Baalke. You don't have to just blindly say everything's going well, but I think he did a great job last night.
Totally.
And this narrative that Baalke's such a pain in the ass to get along with, nobody in the league wants to deal with him. Well, he made 2 trades last night.
Right.
And they're pretty simple deals, but he had another one on the line that he could have moved back from 27. So people will deal with you, man. If you got something they want, they'll deal with you. I don't think anybody, look, I don't know. Maybe somebody hates him enough that they wouldn't trade with him, but.
Yeah, I feel like he stays true to what he keeps saying. You know what I mean? Like how he drafts, how he builds.
He said he was the highest drafted player on the board. I believe it.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, Anton Harrison Tone was, kind of settled into that range between 20 and 30. I saw him mocked to Pittsburgh several times at 17.
You watch the NFL draft, there are players coming off that you go, whoa, what? When? Right? Like those kind of things happen every year in the draft. If a GM steps to the microphone, if Trent Baalke steps up, if he had said, look, we had him as our number 2 tackle in this draft this year. Okay. Right? Like, why would that be so unbelievable that a team would have him ranked that highly at that position, on top of it being the biggest position of need by the time that they were on the clock in the first round? Like, all of it makes all the sense in the world. You can feel about the player however you want to feel about the player, but the process of the draft, I think he nailed it.
Bro, let me tell you, I'm just so glad. Look, DeJuan Jones may turn out to be a Hall of Famer, but I'm so glad we don't have to draft a guy that every day in training camp, how much does he weigh today? Right. What does he weigh today?
Does he look like he cares today?
Right. Is he showing any effort today? Is he raw material? I get it. Tough to get around. Apparently, Harrison was pretty tough to get around based on his numbers as well. So I'm happy. You don't have to be, though, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know, good or bad. We've had a lot of positivity about it, but we're just taking them in the order they come in. So give us your reaction to the selection last night, what you think they should do tonight, what you'd like to see them do tonight, and go check out the polls we've got there on Twitter at MD_1010XL on 2 different potential groups of players that they could trade up for in the second round and who your preference would be. Halfway home with Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and ET. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
JOI, where the pros go.
How dare you talk to me in that fashion? Who are you?
1010XL.
Oh, yes, I've heard of you. They say you're pretty handy with a sword. Let's find out.
92.5 FM.
Honda has done it again with their all-new exciting SUV and truck lineup for 2023. HRV, Pilot, Passport, Ridgeline trucks, and our popular CRV hybrid. This is without a doubt Honda's most impressive lineup. Visit your local Honda dealer today. We're dealing.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
8 Sparky. Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
Duck Rooter is hiring Class B CDL septic truck drivers. You'll receive excellent weekly pay, overtime, health benefits, 401k, and more. Must have a clean MVR, DOT physical, and tanker endorsement. Apply now at duckduckrooter.com. Equal opportunity employer.
Summer is here, so while you're at the beach or on your bike, head on down to Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach, where you'll find the absolute freshest seafood in all of the 904. The biggest shrimp, the saltiest oysters, the freshest fish, all here at our newly renovated restaurant in Neptune Beach. Fresh seafood delivered daily by Safe Harbor, straight from the boat to your plate. Unique oyster specials daily, along with mixed cocktails from the bar. Come enjoy this beach vibe. Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach, locally owned by Safe Harbor Seafood.
It's time to get on the tee with me, Joe C. The XL Primetime Spring League is back, and you need to be part of it. Southampton invites you to join us every Wednesday now through early May for our 9 after 5. As soon as you knock off work, you can head to Southampton for a great game every week. Chef Gary cooking up something good for afterwards and prizes. Call 287-PLAY and get in the game every Wednesday. It's our 9 after 5 at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY now.
You love free. And at Ameris Bank, so do we.
That's why we're proud to offer worry-free, hassle-free Ameris free checking. Manage your money your way with convenient access to digital, mobile, and telephone banking, all with no monthly service fee or minimum balance requirements. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. For more information or to open an account, visit our local bankers in person or online at amerisbank.com/free checking. Other fees such as overdraft fees may apply. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal
Mark
housing.
Watson with Hardball Creative. For the new year, check out the new gear at hardballcreative.com and make sure your employees are sporting your logo on the newest and coolest apparel.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
David here with Royal Pest Services. That grass is waking up from its winter nap. Royal is close to applying products that help bring it out of that dormancy. Our granular aeration allows treatment to get to the root system. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate. It's grow time!
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all. Selling or pawning, get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. If you're looking for a real solution to your thinning hair or hair loss, call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS.
What's causing your hair to fall out? Can your hair grow back? Get to the root of your problem with IHRS Hair and Scalp Analysis. This analysis magnifies your hair and scalp 400 times to see what procedures can restore your hair. Call right now for your free analysis, 904-777-IHRS, or visit hairforme.com. Stop wasting money on solutions that don't work. IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years. They are the only clinic to offer the trademarked multi-unit hair grafting PRP platelet-rich plasma and the NeoGraft FUE hair transplant procedure.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS or visit hair4me.com. Hairforme.com.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
I'm Taylor Dahl with your 1010XL local sports update. After a couple trade backs with the Giants and Bills, the Jaguars were still able to land their offensive lineman, Anton Harrison, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma, now a Jacksonville Jaguar, and some much-needed help after the loss of Jawaan Taylor and potential suspension of Cam Robinson. Trent Baalke spoke to media on the cultural fit of Harrison.
The interaction that we had with him at the Combine stood out. You know, really a mature young man, good head on his shoulders, spoke well about a lot of things, spoke well of his family. That was important to him. That's important to us. You know, so just really felt the culture fit was really ideal for us.
Visit Jaguars.com for more from Baalke. 74 degrees at 11:01. Time and temper brought to you by Bueller Air Condition. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Jaguars Today
on 1010XL.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, so Josh on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures is in Western New York. He said he's thanking all the Bills Mafia for doing the swap, and he loved that we moved down and still got our guy. Somebody asked Tony, is there any trade value for Cam Robinson? I can't imagine much. I mean, he's suspended. He's getting paid a boatload of money. He's coming off an injury.
Yeah, I think he's more valuable whatever role you have for him for the last 11 games.
Right.
This
Either
year
he's your left tackle, right, or he's moves inside maybe, or he's great depth for you. And
I think he's got more value to you than the 7th round pick or whatever.
Right. Should we? Or if you got a 5th, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we got 12 picks tonight and another 5th rounder. Woohoo! Somebody said number 32 is up for trade. The Steelers have no 4th through 6th round picks. I didn't see much in the 7th for them either. I was just looking at the board. But to get to 32, okay, if the Jags said, we got to have maybe it is Joey Porter Jr. or whoever that is. We got to have this guy. Now, I don't think they'd move for a corner. I think there are enough corners that they're going to get a pretty good one if that's what they want at 56. But maybe I'm wrong. If they want to get to 32, you'd have to give the 56 pick, the 88 pick, which is your third rounder, your first 2 fourth rounders, and you're still 5 points short. Okay, so that's your next 4 picks and maybe like a pick swap in the 7th or 6th round or something like that. That's too much for me.
Too much.
There's not one player out there that I want to that degree.
No,
you know,
me neither.
To not have another pick until the 130th.
No way.
The one you got from Buffalo.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh is open for some kind of business with that 3rd round pick, right, to give them more something in the 4th, 5th, 6th round.
Absolutely.
Right? Like if they'd be more willing to move because they don't have anything to listen. They got 2 picks in the 7th round.
And just because, again, Joey Porter Jr., his dad played for them,
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, they may not have – he may be the 3rd cornerback on their available board right now for all we know.
No,
We just
you're
don't
right.
know.
Yep.
Here's the thing I told Tom a second ago on the break. Like, if it were me, because I'm like, I've said this for years, put me in charge. I will make 50 trades in this damn draft, and I'll come out with so much value. But, like, if you did make that leap, like, let's say you had 5 guys, and you don't think any of them make it to 56, I could see jumping up to 32 and having already had the groundwork laid, talk to the teams at 33, 34, 35, whatever. All right, now I'm going to take a small step backwards, right?
Right,
Like we
get more-
saw
yeah,
that happening
yeah.
last night, right?
Yeah.
Texans drop back, then they swing up. The Cardinals did it. So you could recoup some of that, but you got to almost have those things lined up
Right.
ahead of time.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah.
not expecting that big of a swing tonight, but who knows?
You never know.
That's why you tune
That's
in
why
and
it's
find
fun.
out.
Yeah, heck
oh,
yeah.
it's great.
It's going to
dude.
be awesome.
Let's get Kirk up in Tennessee, checking in here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Kirk.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call. As usual, I always love listening to you. And today, I'm not going to act like a crazy man like I usually do. Got a couple questions. First one is, do you think Barch is safe?
Do I think he's safe?
Yeah. Will we have him on the team? this year
Yes.
coming
Oh,
up?
yeah.
Yeah,
He'll be on the
definitely.
team.
Absolutely.
I don't know
Yeah,
if he'll
yeah,
be the
with-
left guard or not, but he'll
Right.
be on the team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but he'll be an important
He's on a ro-
backup at the minimum.
He won the starting job
Yeah.
last year, and he's on a
Yeah.
rookie contract.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be on the
Yeah,
team?
he's
absolutely.
when healthy, he's
Well,
good.
okay.
When healthy, he's good.
Okay, so Anton Harrison, I've got a man crush with this kid. 4-star recruit, top 200 prospect nationally in high school, and then goes off in college. I mean, I'm really excited about it. And if we continue to build, we do need corner, and we do need somebody on the defensive line to stop the run. And I'll take it from there. If you guys go ahead, I'm done, because if I stay on too much longer, I'll start coughing.
All right. Well, stopping the run's always important. They need pass rush, in that front seven. That's, look, somebody on the text line, by the way, talking about this move here. What about packaging Cam Robinson in the deal with the Steelers? Well, they just drafted Broderick Jones last night. So I don't, again, what appeal does, whatever you'd get for Cam, I think at best it'd be like a 5th. And I don't even know if you'd get that, honestly, with all the circumstances that, okay, so you add that to any deal, and how much is that going to really move the needle? A 5th rounder.
No,
A
right.
smidge.
Right.
But not much.
Based on the value.
Right,
board,
if you're just looking at the value board.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, you're right.
Surprised, and I'm happy. Like, I'm surprised at how many people are saying, "Yeah, let's go get Osiris Torrance and let's build a great wall of Duval." Man.
I agree. If you
I
could
didn't
figure
want him
that
at
out-
24 though, right? Like, I didn't want to guard at 24.
I would have been okay with him at 24, but obviously,
I'd
nobody
love
picked
it.
him, so you'd be
Right,
wrong.
I'd love him in the second.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolutely. Then again, looking at him, and I think Mia was talking about this with us the other day. You look at what the scouting report on him is. He's a gap scheme, like a big straight ahead mauler, where the Jags want athletic guys. He may not. They may have Osiris Torrance way lower on their board based on how they think he would fit with this team.
Look, I'm happy with the pick they made last night. If they had done everything they did last night and taken Osiris at 20, like, I'd come in today going, what are they doing? right? Like that would have been my reaction to a guard being the pick in that spot as opposed to a tackle. Because, look, I can understand a tackle with the need at that position that you forego Nolan Smith and Miles Murphy to go that direction with it. I can understand that. If they had foregone that to go get a guard, no, I wouldn't have been happy today. But I wouldn't mind him in the second round at all. I think it makes sense.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, no one picked him, so it would have been a bad pick. So
right, and you
in
don't
the first
know that,
round, right? No, you don't know it at the time, but you're right.
People last night were saying, "How can you let Joey Porter Jr. go? Well, how can the whole entire league let him go?"
Right.
You know?
Right.
And you hear all these. I hear all these talking heads, and look, everyone's got their opinion, right? We're talking heads too, and that's so. But Hendon Hooker, I hear so much on ESPN. Hendon Hooker's best quarterback in this draft. Like, really? Yeah. Really? At 25 years old, coming off a torn ACL, that's the guy you're going to bank on. And then when he doesn't go in the first round, they've got to. Oh, the teams are stupid. What are they doing? It's like
he should go in round 2 pretty high. I would.
You would think
right?
he would go.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of people think that the Rams will take one of the quarterbacks at 36. Right?
Okay.
Stafford starting to break down.
Yeah. Right.
And they haven't had a first-round pick in 7 years. The Rams. 7
They got
straight
a Super
drafts.
Bowl, though.
I know. No, right. But imagine if they didn't, right?
No,
One
right.
play away
Right.
with Jalen Ramsey lying on his butt.
That's right.
But, hey, it worked out. So that one
Yeah.
Super Bowl, I agree with you, is worth it. But just, you want to talk about a long uphill climb from where they're at right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ooh. Harris is in Argyle next up on Jaguars today. Good morning, Harris.
Yes, how you doing?
Well, what's up?
Yes, do you think moving either Allen or Walker down on the DN and go after a guy like Wilson from Clemson or even Drew Sanders from Arkansas, trying to build that pass rush, solidify that core in the inside?
I don't see them moving either one of those guys to certainly not Josh Allen in a 3-4.
No,
not
he's
play
not
DN.
going anywhere. No. And if they were going to move Trayvon down, they would have targeted an edge probably pretty high. You know what I mean?
Right. Like
I
if you had that in mind,
like
then again, but you need it's like you still need the O tackle, right?
Right.
I don't see that being a permanent thing. I could see them though bringing in a guy who's not going to be anything now but a sub package player for them this year, like a third down pass rusher.
Yeah.
And then you see how well he does. You see what kind of year Josh Allen has, and you decide, am I punting on Josh Allen and using the franchise tag maybe on Calvin Ridley if I don't get something worked out?
Yeah. I just think they would have made it different, like maybe Miles Murphy. If they're thinking, we'll move Trayvon down. And
sure,
then we got
right.
Murphy,
And that's a guy.
I think it would have been Nolan Smith if they were thinking about moving Trayvon down, because Miles is the guy who gives you that into stand-up flexibility.
Yeah,
Nolan's more that edge guy. Yeah.
Somebody just asked, and I'm going to do the math here on the break. Take all our 6th and 7th rounders. What could that get you? So I'll add it up. Those are 5 picks ranging from 185 to 240 right now in this draft.
Buy a pick. What pick can they
if
go buy?
Here are 5 picks for you teams that are not as fortunate. And do with them what you will. What pick can we get? Just on the math. Obviously, you'd have to have a willing trade partner, but we'll take a look at that when we return. Tony will take you around the league, although the focus is right here in Duval today. Our Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day, just asking for your reaction. Plus on Twitter, AdamD_1010XL. 2 different polls based on what ranges we feel certain players might come off in the second round. If the Jags were to move up, who would be your preferred target? So you can hop on there and check those out if you like as well. With Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and ET, I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
JOI, where the pros go.
There's a new butcher in town. We're talking a vacuum marinating, sausage grinding, take and bake siding, value pricing, full service butcher. And our name is Southern Steer.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS. IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances, that's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Have breakfast with a Hall of Famer.
Hope you like scrambled eggs.
Just don't spill anything on his yellow jacket.
So you don't think that it's a good idea?
Breakfast with Baselli.
Brought to you by
Epstein and Robbins DUI Defense Firm. Monday morning
on 1010XL.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is teaming up with the NFL to inspire change. From now to draft day, Big Brothers Big Sisters is following the NFL draft, aiming to recruit potential bigs. Hi, I'm Brent from the 1010 sales team. I'm committed as a mentor, and we need you to step up and become a mentor too. There's a waiting list of more than 50 children hoping for a mentor. It's just a few hours a month. Be a mentor. Become a big. Visit bbsnefl.org. Be a mentor or visit Big Brothers Big Sisters and click on Big Draft.
Jacksonville has some junk, and J-Dog is removing it. They're here to do the dirty work. You don't want to remove and dispose of large furniture or appliances yourself? Call J-Dog. Here now, proudly serving you, removing junk from your home or business. They can even handle small demolition projects, and they're still donating local items to veterans in need. So let J-Dog do the dirty work for you. J-Dog Junk Removal. Veteran-owned and operated. JDog.com.
It's a unique gift idea and a popular way to add fun and personality to any wedding environment. Mystic Cornhole Company builds custom, high-quality boards right here in Jax. Visit the shop on Phillips Highway or check out their designs at mysticcornhole.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
It's a Gator Town. It's a Jag Town. It's our hometown. 1010XL, home of the Gators and Jaguars. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
What you need to do is be thankful for the life you got, you know what I'm saying?
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and E to the T.
I'll tell you what the Jags did last night, and we realize this, but there's a way to really put it into focus, I think. Their last pick in round 4 going into the night was 127, right? Their next pick after that was 185. Right? That's a huge gap.
Yeah, that is.
60 players off the board.
Yeah.
Right? So what they did was they got the 130 and the 160 in deals that they made last night, plus a 7th rounder. So somebody asked, and I actually remembered to do it, what can you get? Tony knows. I'll tease something, and we'll get to that tomorrow. If we gave all of our 3 6ths and 2 7ths, we say ours like we're now in charge of the draft. But so, not much. The chart itself doesn't go down far enough to encompass the Jags' last selection because it doesn't. It wasn't built with compensatory picks in mind. In fact, the Jags' the chart goes to pick 224.
Yeah.
And there were probably less picks when Jimmy Johnson created it. The last couple of picks on the chart are worth 2 points. So I'm going to presume the Jags' 7th rounders are worth 2 points each.
Okay.
The total value in points would be 40 points, which is equivalent to pick 132 or 133. That's a high 5th round pick.
All right.
I mean, look, and Tony made a good point. They got 127 players on their board, right, that are draftable.
Yep.
So there's no sense drafting guys that you don't think are draftable. But I would rather throw 5 darts at the board in the 6th and 7th round than take 1 5th rounder.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I don't think I don't think a team would do that either, right? If they had that 5th round pick, I don't think they're saying, yeah, let's take – like, I don't –
It might depend on the circumstance.
Right, like, I don't think that's likely on either side to be something that
No, right,
happens.
right.
But I do think it gives them, with that 127 in mind, right, it gives them the opportunity when they're getting to the bottom of that list, whatever point in the draft that would be. They have 127 on their board. That doesn't mean that they don't still value this guy as a 7th round pick, right? Like, that's where he should be going in this year's draft. It's just these are the 127 guys that we have on our board. So with that in mind, I think they can get more aggressive to make sure they're getting a guy that's on their board.
Yeah.
Right? And all the ammunition they have late in the draft gives them more flexibility to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's where you're going to see most of the movement. You got to, like you're saying, you'd rather have the shot at 5. I mean, just think of the risk ratio, right? You got 1 or you got 5. Maybe you find, look, it's funny. I love some people out there. He's just the 3rd round or 4th round. 5th. Look, you find football players all throughout this draft. You never know where they kind of come from. They're going to be superstars. You just never know. And by the way, that 127, I got to assume it doesn't include. They have a free agent list too, right? And if those 127, the Jags that they have under their right, they got to have. Well, who are we going to go after we draft, right? Maybe some of those move up if the 127 starts dwindling.
It's possible, but I think you don't want to spend a pick on a guy that you don't have graded as worthy of one of the the top 250-ish.
Yep.
Players out there.
Right.
Here's an idea. Just again, not every team adheres to this original chart this strictly, but just for discussion's sake, if you took the Jags' 5th round pick, which they acquired last night, and their first 2 6th round picks, combine those together, you can jump up to pick 119 in the 4th round, which is 2 picks ahead of where they select in the 4th round with their one of their 4th round selections. So they'd have like 119, 121, 127, 127 player list, right? I mean, so you're guaranteeing.
Yep.
And then, we came into the night without a 5th rounder. We're still pretty much ahead of the game because we added a 4th and a 7th. So I think that's a plausible, big jump, and 4th rounders to me they're like on that borderline, right? Like I expect that 3rd round pick
to be a ball player.
By like year 2 to be in the starting lineup. Otherwise, you're probably not doing it right.
You miss. Yep.
4th rounder, quality depth, rotation guys, right? Let's throw another shot. Oh, there's a pass rusher we liked. Yeah, we took one. Let's take this guy too.
Right.
And bring in get some competition going.
Yep.
So
special teams as well. You got to factor that in. That's a big part of it is, as well. Those guys got to play special teams, so they better be able to run, better be able to be good in space. And good at special teams.
Fun with math. You know what? Other things happen, not just the Jags portion of the draft. And Tony Smith will give you a brief look at what those were as we go around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
The Baltimore Ravens and quarterback Lamar Jackson have agreed to terms on a 5-year, $260 million contract extension. The deal includes $185 million in guaranteed money. The $52 million in average annual value on the deal makes Lamar Jackson the highest paid player in NFL history, topping the deal that Philadelphia quarterback Jalen Hurts got just a few weeks ago.
And you know what? And once they got him, Tony, we better go get him a receiver too. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
every little bit helped last night, the way the board fell for the
doubt.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
4 receivers in a row.
I know. I know. It just went
You're just
crazy.
watching it going ding, ding,
I know.
ding.
By the way, I don't know if you guys followed the betting lines, like the prop bets.
Okay.
All right, leading into it. In the hour before the draft, C.J. Stroud went from plus 250, bet 100, win 250, right?
Okay.
To initially minus 340 and then almost immediately to minus 4,000 to be the second pick in the draft. Somebody got the word, right?
Yeah.
And the betting markets flipped, and then they took it off the board entirely, right? So it flipped. In the first round, the over-under on quarterbacks was 4.5. Obviously, the under hit.
Yep.
The over-under on running backs was 1.5, so the over hit there.
Yeah.
Wide receivers was 3.5, and it was looking bad for
Yeah.
the over, but that hit. And then tight ends was 2.5, I want to say, or it might have been 1. Either way, the under hit on the tight end. So
Who got the kid from USC, Addison? Who was that?
Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, that's
him.
going to be nice.
So
Yeah.
all those 12th round shares of KJ Osborne in the best ball leagues this year, Tony, may not be as valuable as I hope they would turn out to be.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Got a couple of polls going out there right now, and let's see where things stand here. We'll win with our official. We've talked about, Tom and I, like Osiris Torrance as a trade-up target.
Yep.
You know, the funny thing is you see him, in that range of picks, the Bucks, I want to say, have 51.
Yeah.
A lot of people think the Bucks would take him for sure. So those calculations, if we like him, and I'm not saying that's what we do, but if they like him, you got to look, who do we have to get ahead of, right?
Yep.
And as it falls and set it up. So first poll, if the Jags trade up, here are 4 targets. Which one would you prefer?
Okay.
Brian Branch, Michael Mayer, Joey Porter Jr., or Keon White. What do you think the poll results are right now on this?
Junior.
Junior is
Jr.
correct.
Yeah.
46.7%.
Okay.
Which is probably, Tone, I would say in all the feedback we got, Brian Branch was the most popular name. But I think a lot of people assume Joey Porter Jr. wouldn't be there.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
So Branch is second with 30%, Mayer with about 13%, and Keon White at 10%. I'd flip it.
I would too. You know what?
flip it.
He's got some ability, man. He's a big guy that can move.
You know what he
I
can
like
do,
him.
Tom? What they say anyway is he can play end in 3-4 and 4-3.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
okay, we're a 3-4 defense now.
Right.
What about 2 years from now? You don't know, right?
I know. Listen, I'm telling you, how many times have I said Devon Hamilton on a guard? I would love to see more and more and more of.
Well,
He's a beast. He can be a beast.
I like the idea of getting pass rush and having
Yeah.
positional flexibility
Yes.
with him as
Yeah.
well. And I'm not saying, hey, then go grab a twitchy, run stopping deficient edge player in the 4th round and
Sure.
use him as a sub package.
And Devon Hamilton didn't have the sack numbers that Roy Robertson Harrison did,
Yep.
at the end of the season last year. But I don't think it's some mystery as to when Roy started playing better, Devon played really well, right? I think, you look at the contract, and I know the discussion has been what it's been, since he got the extension. But I think this is still a young, potentially ascending player on your defensive line. Those are the kind of guys that you want to take care of, and it's not a contract that's going to get in the way of them doing anything else.
And again, they keep 21 of 22. They keep that defense together. That defense, look, though they weren't very good on certain things, 3rd down, right? Not the pressure, but they played better as a team that last half or so, or last month or so of the season. So they're counting on that. They're counting on Roy Robertson Harrison to be the player that he was at the end of the year, not what he was.
Why
you
they
know,
gave him the extension.
exactly.
Right?
Same with Devon Hamilton. Hey, let's keep them together. We like them. We think they're on their way up, not on their way down, or plateauing straight across. Right? They're ascending still, and we are ascending as a defense. Let's lock them up and keep them together.
And let's structure it in a way where you're still on a rookie contract with Trevor Lawrence, right? So I think that's how Hamilton's deal is. A lot more of his money is going to be in the first year than the latter 2 years, and that means he'll probably want to renegotiate after a year or two.
Outplays it, do it.
All right, the other poll was a quartet of players we think might last a little longer in the second round, so wouldn't be as expensive. Edge rusher Derek Hall, cornerback Cam Smith, offensive lineman Osiris Torrance, and tight end Darnell Washington. And this is just great. Wow. Osiris Torrance at 30%.
Okay.
Cam Smith at 26.5%.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And both Hall and Washington are at 21.7%.
Wow.
So everybody getting their love in that scenario as well. And
jeez.
I looked at, let's say, 3 mocks that were either just second round or second and third round.
Yeah.
All of them had the Jags going corner, I want to say, with the 56th pick. I think DJ Turner was in 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you can never – you need 3. You need 3 DBs, right? 3 corner types.
If you're drafting a corner at 56, Tom, do you have to get a guy that can play nickel for a year before you move him outside? Or do you just – take him and say, hey, look, if you beat out Darius Williams can go back and try to play nickel, or we're going to have to try to figure that out. Like, what do you?
I personally want to see a guy that can play both. Okay. He can play inside or outside, that he's fluid enough, he's quick enough, he can change direction. Listen, I think the nickel position is one of the hardest positions to play in the game, just because it's typically one-on-one and it's in the open field, and that is hard as you know what, to cover somebody that knows where they're going, and you just got to read and react and try to get in their way and that type of thing. I think it's one of the tougher positions. So I want a guy that can maybe do both. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that'd be ideal. Right. But you might pass on an outside guy.
Not if I got him ranked real high. Like if Cam Smith's there, right? I really like him. Yeah, really I'm bringing him in. You guys are going to work it out.
But ideally, you want a guy that's
somebody that could do both. I mean, he doesn't have to be strictly a slot. Just a guy that's athletic enough to play.
Right.
That slot corner.
All right, and then again, tonight, who knows? People will be like, "What about that Buda Baker fellow right there?"
True.
I wonder what Arizona is looking for. I don't know. I'd have to go look and see what the Jags' present cap situation is, because with this extension with Devon, I mean, they were like in 9th in effective cap space.
Yeah.
Once you took the rookie pool out of it, now they've got more allotted to the rookie pool at the moment because they have more picks than they went into the night with. But I don't know if they could swing Buda Baker at the moment under the salary cap.
Yeah, I don't know. And, the comments coming out of Arizona after the first round last night basically sounded like, no, there's no movement.
Is that right?
Yeah, on anybody, right? No movement on Buda. They came out and said DeAndre Hopkins is a wide receiver for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like
they didn't get what they wanted.
Like it's not getting any bites right now. Maybe that changes with a day for everyone to think about it. Board gets reset. Okay, let's rethink what kind of offer we'd be willing to make for one of these guys. But coming out of it last night, it didn't sound like Arizona is going to be able to move either of those guys for the price that they want.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, again, we've thrown it out there, but if you add one of these veteran pass rushers that are out there and you can handle it, salary cap wise and all that, you're okay up front. You'll add depth and whatnot. I know I've seen that kid who's the kid out of Army, the 6'7" DN. They say he's really raw. Carter,
Andre Carter Jr.
Is it already? Is it?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Wow. His dad didn't have that kind of height, but man, he
was a nice player.
Yeah. Absolutely. He could rush a passer big time.
Yep.
Yeah, he was great.
All right, I'll see if I can figure out what they have of it. I don't know if even the sites like Spot Tracker are updated with the Devon Hamilton contract. It doesn't appear that that's the case, but yeah, it doesn't look like that. It did talk about the 3-year extension, but it doesn't have details on it. So I'm I think it's tough to suss out right now. And I know Buda Baker's number, if he is on the Cardinals, the cap hit is like $13 million. Sometimes that lowers in a trade, but it's a pretty big chunk. Now,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that.
No,
but
I don't either.
I think people get excited about the idea. Like, we do have this draft capital. If they want to move on and save some money, if we have the space to take him on, sometimes you dump players for cap relief.
Who would he replace? Like Cisco or Rayshon?
I think
if he came in.
At first, they played a lot of 3 safety looks at times last year,
True.
right? So
True.
Wingard get used to being
Yeah,
special teams
okay,
only.
Okay, fair.
I think he's always on the field, obviously.
He played linebacker a little bit, didn't he?
He's
like hybrid
he-
rover
yes,
type.
I honestly, I wonder if he couldn't play slot. He's not isn't he kind of compact type guy? He's 5'10", 195. So he's not.
Yeah, not too.
It's kind of compact. It's 5'10's not small.
No, right.
I don't know. I really don't think it's going to happen. But people get excited about names that have proven something, and I understand that. All right, let's come back. We'll give you our official take on what went down last night. Pretty positive from this neck of the woods. We'll give you some final numbers on these polls and how we would vote as well based on these trade-up targets. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and E.T. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Tire Outlet, where you can ride in style with a brand new set of tires from my friends at Tire Outlet. They offer the best selection, best quality, and best prices, so you can find the best tires for your vehicle. And with over 40 years of experience and 14 convenient locations around the First Coast, Tire Outlet's the brand you can trust with your vehicle's tires and a whole lot more. You'll get great deals on tires with their legendary price match guarantee, and they have expert technicians ready to do the maintenance and repairs to keep your vehicle performing its best. That's Tire Outlet, where you always get wholesale prices and premium service.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
JOI, where the pros go.
Ace Carline here from my friends at Claude Nolan Cadillac. I was just there for my routine service. They have more new cars now than any time in the past 2 years. An increasing number of vehicles continue to be delivered. No worries on rates. They have fantastic rates right now. There's so much more than just pre-owned Cadillacs in stock. Get down to Claude Nolan Cadillac today. Tell them I sent you. New or certified pre-owned. Begin your lasting relationship at Claude Nolan Cadillac off JTB and Southside across from Tinseltown.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
In sports, the grind outside the lines is what ultimately defines our success. Get the amateur's edge, powered by B3 Better, to learn the hidden path of top pros, amateurs, and coaches. Saturday mornings at 11 on 1010XL.
At the Dailies Dash, they're kicking pimento and taking names. Come in and try the April sandwich of the month, the Kickin' Pimento BTT. More Dash deliciousness filled with pimento cheese, bacon, tomatoes, and turkey. Are we hungry yet? Quality ingredients, friendly service. The Dailies Dash experience is going to be a pimento kicking eye-opener for you. From locally sourced coffee ground fresh every morning to the mouth-watering sandwich menu, stop at the Dailies Dash today and try the Kickin' Pimento BTT, the Dailies Dash sandwich of the month.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, how much does a 1-carat diamond cost?
David, that's an impossible question to answer because a carat's only a measure of weight for a gemstone. It would be no different than you going to a car dealer and asking how much a 2,500-pound car costs, which the car salesman would find is ridiculous. Diamonds are graded for 4 things. Carat weight's just one of those factors. The others are the cut, color, and clarity. At Underwoods, each of these factors is graded for specifically with a grade set by a certified gemologist at the American Gem Society or the Gemological Institute of America Diamond Grading Laboratory. So when you ask about a diamond's weight, we're going to tell you more than just the price. At Underwoods, we want a customer to understand how all 4 factors of diamond quality relate back to the beauty, rarity, and value of the diamond. Everybody understands the value of a dollar, but at Underwoods, we want our customers to know what their dollar buys in diamond value. So if quality counts with you, stop by Underwoods.
San Marco, Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
If you want to get into broadcasting, 1010XL is partnering with the Broadcasters and Sportscasters Mentoring Group to offer on-air broadcast training to a select few. Find out how you can be mentored at getintobroadcasting.com. Getintobroadcasting.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, takes the field this season at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark as the AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids run the bases after Sunday games. Call 358-2846 or jackshrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
I-9 Sports, flag football, basketball, soccer, and t-ball. Play year-round with co-ed programs ages 3 to 17. Duval, Clay, and St. John's. Enter promo code 1010XL for $5 off. Check out i9sports.com for all the details.
High school, college, and pro.
As good as it gets.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL. Jaguars today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Mackin with Tom McManus, brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, a better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, let's take a look at your reaction. That's what today was really about. And Monday we'll do it again, with the entire draft to look back on. But we asked you today the Chad and Sandy real estate question today. What is your reaction to the Jags selecting Anton Harrison with the first pick last night that they had? And before we get to ours, I'll give you a sampling of what you said. FanCam, our guy, said it's a blueprint last night for squeezing the most from a pick while getting the player you're targeting. No question. I mean, the trade down aspect of
phenomenal.
Just puts it over the top.
And I don't know if we mentioned it on air, but you said they could have traded again, and he's like, no, we
the chance. They got a call when they were at 27.
Yeah.
Moved down again, and I started guessing. It could have been KC wanting to get ahead of Philadelphia for Nolan Smith. Okay. Could have been Philly wanting to come up to assure themselves of getting Nolan Smith. Could have been Pittsburgh if they really do like Joey Porter Jr. and they weren't sure he was going to make it to them. Could have. You just don't know.
You don't know, right?
You just don't know. And they just were like, however far it was, they were just not comfortable.
Got it done twice, third time.
I think that was pretty good, right? We would have had a little more ammo tonight, and we may not have known. They trade back, and maybe they take Brian Branch, and you're like, oh, they masterclass, they got the guy they wanted, and you'd never know if that was really the guy. Dr. Cliff, he said 2 years from now, Fortner and Little may be the only offensive lineman under contract. I think it's a move that shores up the short-term help and long-term growth. Jay Villan Daniel says protect Sweet 16 at all costs. Love it. Extra picks on top. Masterclass. All right. The Great Wall of Duval's coming together, said Michael. I wanted them to go big, either offensive line, defensive line, games won in the trenches, so thought it was a good pick, said Scott. Priorities are priorities, said Cristiano. Looking at his tape, I'm good with the pick, said Al, especially we traded down a couple spots to get the value. Let me find some that are a little more lukewarm at least. Cam Bactus in a corner, said Scott. Seems like a good player. A lot of value at corner and end in my professional football scouting opinion, he says, tongue-in-cheek. Let's see. Love it. Good start. Didn't like the pick initially with all the top cornerbacks and Smith still on the board, but understand the pick, and I'm happy to have him. Wanted Joey Porter there, but I'm glad they're investing in Trevor in the offensive line. Best tackle in the draft, says Nick, specifically in pass protection. We'll find out if it turns out that way. I hope you're right.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I wasn't happy, said Casey. I think it's a bit of a stretch considering players available, but was a needed addition. Better than some unproven pass rushers, said Ivan. Now go get Smoot back this weekend. I think Smoot's there for the re-signing.
Yeah.
Even if you do, I don't know. What are you going to get out of DeJuan Smoot coming off a torn Achilles?
Yeah.
Hard to know.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know there were a couple of negative ones. Love the player. Don't like that it felt forced. And I don't know that. It doesn't feel forced to me. The Cam Robinson thing.
But I think they do it, like he said, regardless, because you
I
got
agree.
Cam for.
But not everyone believes that.
Like,
I think people are like, well, they say that.
Yeah, like even I reacting to it when the pick was made last night. It's like, I have no problem with the pick, no problem with the player.
Right.
To some degree, given the other options that we've discussed over and over that were still there.
Right.
By the time that they actually picked, Nolan Smith specifically, right? Like
Yeah.
it does feel like to some degree their hand is forced because this became such a glaring need.
Yeah.
By the time that we got to the actual pulling the trigger on the draft pick. Like, I understand that side of it. Doesn't mean I have a problem with the pick they made. They have the need that they have.
Right. And when did they know about Cam?
They've known for a couple. They've known for a while.
A little while. Like, so it's not like when we found out, they found out. Like, oh, good. Oh, geez, we got to get Anton
Their
Harrison.
board has that baked in.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already there. So I think they make the pick regardless.
They're mostly positive the rest of the way. This one was interesting. See if I can figure out what we're saying here. I think it was a reach trading back twice. Huh? How's it a reach?
Reach back?
I don't.
Reach
Anyway.
would have been you could have got him at 27 and instead you got him at 24.
Or you
and
moved
didn't
up
get
to
the
21.
picks.
Anyway, I think it was. Let me just read it. It was a reach trading back twice. Definitely drafted for need because of Cam Robinson. C- draft grade at best. They could have got Kincaid, Flowers, Porter, Branch, etc. That would have been an upgrade. Well, Flowers was gone for one thing, so they couldn't have got him.
No.
And
Not a fit here either.
apparently they like this guy better. Yes, they could have gotten all three of those four guys. And, two of them are still available. The entire NFL could have had two of those guys last night, and nobody deemed them worthy of being a top 31 pick. So.
Yeah. I don't think Flowers, and I think he's going to be, well, we'll see how he does in Baltimore. I like him, but I don't think he's a fit here. I don't think. I just don't know where you put him.
It's unnecessary.
Right.
Right.
That's more of a luxury. Like, got everything. I don't need anything. I'll just take this kid because he can score a little bit.
I mean, honestly, I thought the Chargers was a bit of a luxury going Quentin Johnson, especially because they just re-upped with Mike Williams.
Yeah. Right.
Very similar type players.
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
And you still have Keenan. Now you still have Josh Palmer, who's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
They've always those Chargers have always had that 6'4", 6'5" receiving group, though, right? I mean, just kind of nuts.
A basketball team. Yep.
All right, why don't we fire up the 10-10 take?
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take, brought to you by Northern Tool. Start solving your projects today at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
By the way, tip of the hat to Mike DeRocco, who did put in his ESPN mock on Tuesday, Anton Harrison.
All right.
I'd give a tip of the hat to Pete Prisco, who had Anton Harrison to the Jags yesterday, but he also had Will Levis going second overall. So, Pete, sorry. Can't give you any credit after that. These scouts don't know what they're talking about. The league loves Will Levis. All right, Pete.
Was that Mel Kiper or Pete Prisco?
That was Pete. Sorry, Pete. Look, maybe they do love him, but they're afraid of the toe. But come on. Come on, national guy. Need some info on that toe before they talk about it on television during the night of the draft. Look, I like it. In fact, I said yesterday, didn't think Darnell Wright would make it to him. Thought he was the most reasonable, would be the highest rated offensive lineman on the board. If they went to Juan Jones, I would have crossed my fingers and hoped it worked out. So I'm extremely happy, and I'm over the moon that they got 3 additional picks.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the way they did it, it was just perfect, and I like the pick too, man. I think he's going to be a heck of a player. I like how big he is. You hear the punch, how strong it is. He's nasty. He finishes blocks. He's got great feet. I mean, I think we're going to like this kid a lot.
No, I'm with you. The process, I think they nailed it, right? And as I've said, I probably would have gone Myles Murphy if I was in the situation with everything else that had gone on. That's who I would have picked because I just think he's going to be better in 4 years, right? I just think he's going to be the better player in the long run. But I don't think they did anything wrong in the process of, look, they had a major need at offensive tackle. They got a guy that who knows where he was on their board. I can understand him being one of their top 1 or 2 left tackles. Like, I don't think that's nuts for him to be regarded that highly in this draft. So from a process standpoint, I think that Trent Baalke and the team absolutely nailed it.
Somebody just suggested we should trade all our 6-rounders for DeAndre Hopkins. Sure. If you've got the cap space to take him on, right. And Arizona, who was reportedly wanting at least a 2nd-rounder for him, was going to lower their price to 3.6. Why don't we just throw in a 7th as well, just to really polish this thing
I'd rather have one of those pass rushers out there than D-Hop, and I love D-Hop.
But look, if I could get DeAndre Hopkins and you had the cap space and I had to give up all my 6th and 7th-round picks, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what Arizona's looking to do. I might be wrong. All right, so let's vote on how we would vote here on these polls, okay?
Let's do it.
If they're making the major move up, let's say right near the top of the round, and they're choosing between Brian Branch, Michael Mayer, Joey Porter Jr., or Keon White, who do you want, Tony?
Joey Porter.
You want Joey Porter. Who do you want, Tom?
I think I'm going Keon White.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm going Keon White. Yeah. And again, I don't anticipate this big a move, but we're asking. Right. Porter getting 46.7%, 30% for Brian Branch, 13% for Michael Mayer, and Tom and I are in the vast minority, 10.3% on Keon White. Now, we come to the second question. If the Jags trade up in round 2, and this is the quartet, they're going to get one of them. Derek Hall, the edge rusher out of Auburn. Cam Smith, the South Carolina corner. Osiris Torrance, the interior offensive lineman out of Florida. Or tight end Darnell Washington from Georgia. Tony, who you want?
Osiris Torrance.
Osiris. Tommy.
Same.
Well, let's go.
Yes, same.
Honestly, my favorite trade-up target of the whole round. Now, I don't know if he's going to slide far enough to where it makes it feasible. I don't know if the Jags even like him for their philosophy of the offensive line, right? But
he is a big dude, but he's nimble enough to get up to that second level. I mean, he's not like he's just going to move a guy in front of him. He's got some feet to go along with that massive body. I mean,
so let me just give you the numbers where things stand on that because. Still, this is very close. And if you haven't voted, feel free at MD_1010XL on Twitter. Osiris Torrance at 29.9% of the vote. We got about 450 votes on this.
Okay.
Cam Smith, 27.5%. 21.9 would go Derek Hall, and 20.8 would go Darnell Washington.
Wow.
Right? Like, you talk about a recipe for ticking off 3/4 of a fan base no matter what you do. But, it's fun. They got ammo. Got 11 picks.
No doubt.
Picking at the latest 56. We thought at the latest it was 24 last night, but it turned out to be 27.
That's right.
Love it. All right. Before we say goodbye, let's welcome in XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping the rubber on the road with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
All right, Mia O'Brien and the crew are down outside TIAA Bank Field right now. Mia, what's going on down there?
Yeah, we're hanging out at the Travel Camp RV show. Tons of RVs. I'd say at least 200 to 300, Mike. I mean, there is a ton of RVs here that you can come out, you can walk around and test drive. Maybe not actually drive, but you know what I mean. You can see the inside of them. We got live music pumping right next to us, and we got tons of people mulling around getting ready for day 2 of the NFL draft.
All right, so Mia, everybody thinks with 11 picks, the Jags are going to be movers and shakers tonight. How aggressive do you think they will be? Maybe even potentially in the second round?
Yes, I expect them to do just that. I think that was the plan all along. I think there were some concerns yesterday after the reports of Cam Robinson's potential suspension surfaced that they would not be able to trade back as they were hoping to, that they had lost their leverage. Obviously, they were still able to find not one but two trade partners, and now armed with that ammo, and I know you guys mentioned earlier in the show, 3 fourth-round picks, that's huge in terms of moving up in the second and third round tonight.
Yeah, and look, they had the opportunity to trade back again. So it was certainly out there. So the narrative that Trent Baalke cannot get along with anyone enough to swing a trade is a bit of a fallacy, at least, with some of those teams. Yep. So excited to hear your coverage of it, Mia, you and the XL Primetime crew. So we'll be locked on. Have a great show today.
Thank you, sir. We also are going to dip into a little bit of college football talk. Kalen DeLoach, linebacker at Florida State, going to join us coming up in today's show. So don't go anywhere, Noles fans. Don't say we aren't covering FSU. We got you guys locked and loaded.
All right. Thank you, Mia. There we go. XL Primetime for the next 3 hours. Tommy Mack, any big weekend plans?
Yeah, I got a Dad Bods gig tonight out at the beach at Whiskey Jack's right there on Atlantic Boulevard. Come on out. 70s, 80s, 90s rock and roll. We take the stage at 8:30. And we'll be crushing it.
Everybody does a shot when the Jags make a pick?
Oh, yeah. The draft will be on. We'll make sure everyone knows who they pick and what's going on. I might even have a little commentary on it in between songs.
Hits me up last night. Like, we did the toast for when the Jags won the playoff game, right? Like, when I get home, I'm going to send the tweet. We're all going to do a toast at, like, 2 a.m.
Right.
So last night he goes, you got any of that limoncello left? He goes, how about we do a toast at 24? I'm like, I'm working here, Cam. Give me a break, man. So, but I drank one in spirit out there. Hey, look, whatever you felt about whoever you wanted, let's hope Anton Harrison is an absolute freaking beast
no doubt.
In the National Football League, right?
Oh, yeah.
And let's hope everybody the Jags select tonight is the absolute right player, whether it's the guy we want at that moment or not, because that's what we're here for to see this team have success. Tony, anything other than draft this weekend for you?
No, sir.
All right. No, sir. E.T., what you got?
Man, one of my favorite groups, New Edition, is in town. I'm going to go check them out.
Ooh, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike are here?
All of them.
Oh, wow, no
I'm
kidding.
trying to get on stage with them, too. You know
No way. If they love the girl, who cares who you like?
Okay.
All right? That's all I know about New Edition. But there you go, E.T. Enjoy it. I got 4 hours on Sirius XM tonight. I got 3 hours tomorrow. I got 2 on Sunday as well. So and I got a tea time.
Nice. Wow, you're
There.
busy.
I'm busy, man.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You know what? This is a great week. This is one of my favorite weeks of radio, really.
Yeah, it's going to be great. The draft's awesome. I mean, look, I didn't get drafted, so I didn't like my draft year, but I enjoy it every year, man. I really do. It's cool to see it, especially who we pick, right? And then you start thinking, like, all right.
Start putting it together, man, the puzzle and that. And then when it's done, turn a calendar to May, and all those signings don't affect the compensatory pick formula. Then it's open season on veteran pass rushers.
That's right.
Perhaps. Even if you draft one at 56
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, totally.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Stack them up.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
that'll do it for us today. Thanks to everybody putting it together. Dylan Denmark working behind the scenes with ET, and, of course, all of you out there who weighed in social media-wise, text line-wise, phone lines. Appreciate you all. We'll do it again Monday, looking at the next however many picks the Jaguars exercise. So let's let the master class continue, and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you Monday right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Weekend is here. You don't need to make plans when you're driving around doing honeydews, when you're busy.